Well, we are back after having some stuff printed up here. Went ahead and made them up, but I realized when we put that last gear in to the run that there's actually supposed to be a step down right here. So I'll pull that back out. I've got us a new uh, piece to put back in here, and then now just realized though that will not work because I've got it in backwards. So what I've been doing was doing this, pushing it in, going back here to get it set to the right height. So let's see if we can get this back in there. Oh, I got the one pulley gear in there. And then I have the second one that I'll be putting on to the smaller pulley. All right, well, it'll be a little more difficult than I thought. Let's see if I can get it over to the bigger right gear. There ain't a whole lot of room to play here. And again, so I stab myself. Aha! Alright, so let's see if we can see that. So we got the smaller gear in there. So what that means is this one. Oh, while I was away, got a whole new bag of belts in from AliExpress, which they were badly needed. Alright, so in order to get the little gear to mesh with the larger of the gears and then go back to the middle size, got to put it on the inside or outside edge, I guess would be the correct way. And then let's see, we need another belt. Let's use one of the older ones first. Well, let's see if we can get that over the top of that. Put that in there. Slide that in there. And I see immediately we forgot to put the bearing in. theory should be easy because it's just got to be pressed in place. The next one has to slide into the groove. And the next one, which I don't want to use these. Let's get these opened up. So again, these have to be pushed into there. All right. Wow. So when I was looking back at the full model, and I'll throw a picture in here in just a second. We have 5 step downs, and it was 4 tires, 2 tires, 2 tires, 2 tires, and then I think the last were 3. Let me look here at this. It's 4, 2, 2, 2, 1, and then 3, and 2 of them are actually in the curve, so not much so sure how those count. As far as, it's just solid into the curve. All right, so right now on ours we have the 4 tires, these two have stepped down. So now in order to have, oh, that brings up a good question. So if we do another step down here on that one, which means we have to have the big gear here. So that's 4, 2, 2, 2. That's step down. Actually, no. That's 3 that are going the same speed, because this is the point. Steps here, down. So those, actually I messed this all up. Right now we've got, no, I take that back. So we got the first, let's slide this over so you can see. These 4 here are all there. Then it goes to small gear, which steps down because we have the large gear here. These 2 are on the same ratio. And then we step down here. That means these 2 here end up being 3 here because they're all on the same size bearing or gear ratio. So I've got 4, 3, 2. And that's where we're at. Be right back. Well, apparently I forgot to hit record. Sorry. So what we found was we got 4, 3, 2 here, 2 here. Actually, no, I take that back. So we got 4, 2, 3, and then that one steps down. And then we step down. So these 2 will be the same. And we step down again. And then we step down one more time. So we have our 5 step downs, and this last one here, as it leads into the curve, will go all the way around. And of course I had shown on the other video the whole big mess, which apparently never got recorded. So here's what we're trying to accomplish. Let's refocus this a little bit. So what we're replacing is this whole straight run down through with belts, and then these 2 here will be replaced with belts but not pulleys. I will leave them just going through the wall like the other Legos out around through here. They're just a 5mm hole in the wall, which will be what held in place. But this tire, this tire, and this tire, these three will be the last step down as it leads into the curve. And so as long as I got my 5 step downs along the long run, these last three will the same, in theory, be the same speed going into the curve, which will be run by its own stepper motor there on the end. And that will be that. So what I had done is started putting this back together, or got all the pieces put in, got all the belts, whoops, refocus again. All the belts put in, everything stepped down. That's the last step down right there. And then this leads into the curve. And I started putting these in, but we had a huge gap, so I had taken this out to the garage to take the vise, torque it down. So we've got all that done and finished putting this together, except I don't think that's the right screw. Nope, I do not have the right screws because we did not use those. So those are the ones we had got to replace. 20mm, which I'll end up doing the same thing here because that needs to go through that wall and slide in that slot. And yeah, there's where the extras. So let me pause again and go grab 2 more of the 28mm screws. Alright, so I've got the other screws here. Get them put in place. Definitely need to find a metric screwdriver like this. US is just a little too small. And starting to slip. But that worked out really well. So got all this done. All these pieces are there. And if you'll bear with me for a few minutes, we will plug in everything and see what we've got. And see just how noisy it is with all of them running, and make sure it actually will pull all of them because they are tight. They are definitely tight. So what I've got, this is a Raspberry Pi running, a little test program. As soon as the Pi boots up, we will get it started. Voila. Alright, so Python RPI test.py. Alright, hang on to your hats. Let's see if we actually get anywhere. Oh, oh, stripped every one of the teeth out of it. Well, boom. That's not good. So yeah, the one we were talking about, this little gear here, this little one here, it just does not have a lot of support behind it. And look at that, it just cracks. So, that being the case, that's just going to strip that out every time. And if they were metal, it'd be different. But, yeah, look at that. You can just fingernail push it in. Oh, that stinks. Oh, there's some nice 16 teeth gears. Have some of those. Oh, goodness. Well, that's why we do this. Try to figure out what works, what don't work, and that does not work. Well, here we are back. I have actually gone back and redesigned after those gears on the smaller one stripped off, stepped everything up to a 14 to 22 instead of a 12 to 20, I believe it was. But that is going to necessitate going from our 96 millimeter belt to 100 millimeters, which I have ordered, and they won't be here for 2 days. But that being said, we can go back and look at getting this. So right now we have these three. The fourth wheel will be on the small and middle size. We will do that. And then the next one up will be the one that will require the special 100 millimeter belt. But all this is to say, we'll see if this will keep the gear from stripping. Not 100% convinced it will, but maybe. These are pretty small. But at least they are not hollow like the previous ones were. And I cannot snap them with my fingers, so that is a good sign. But let's see if we can get this to go through this. Let's see if I can move this over. Actually, I need the belt. Oops, totally backwards. So let's strip that. Well, let's not strip it out. Let's just move it to the other side. For some reason, there is a larger gap here. I think I'm going to try something. One of these 2 millimeter ABS washers that I printed. We'll stop that. Or fill that gap, which is what's been the problem. That should work. again, unfortunately, can't go any further. So we want these 4 tires on the same, these 3 tires on the same, and then these 3 tires on the same. So if we do 1, step down, 2, step down, 3, step down, 4. That is a problem. So we need to do 4, 3, 2, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what we need to do. So let's work on getting that laid out. It's easier to have it sitting here behind it. So this will be the big one. And if we do 3 tires of the same size, these 3, so big, 3. Oh, but then we need to do another small step. And then a large one. 2. So that gives 3. That gives 2. Step down. And again, 2 and a step down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. 1, 2, 4. That's 8 right there. That's not right. Yeah. Because this will drive the rest of these. So I'll have these 2 in the curve. Yep, that should take care of it. Let's see if it actually will work. I may try to go ahead and put these together that are straight through, because they're always going to be 96mm no matter what. And I can pop the others back out. 2mm washers seem to have worked, so let's continue to put those on there. I'm trying to just keep it from sliding side to side, because it tends to walk, or I'm afraid it will. These are tight, but they're not super tight. And do this one too while we're at it. So this will be like this. Let's see, 2mm. Unless I had a burr on it right there. That's not good. So that won't go there. Then it needs to have. Yeah, see, that's where the problem comes in. I cannot get enough angle on it to get it to pop in there with the 2mm washer with this bigger pulley. So take that out and try it again. Happened. I see another burr here. Yeah, that's it. Went right in there. But it's the only problem is it's got side to side play. This one will not go anywhere. I don't like that. We got to figure out a way to get that in there. I could go with a smaller 1mm, cut down on the back and forth play. Get it to go on. Yeah, it's better. I had a little walk, but it won't be too much. This one here is done. This one that's on the stepper motor, it's not going anywhere. One beside it, you see it's got some play. This one has no play. And this one has slide play. It is what it is, unfortunately. Right, let's see if we can get this to cooperate. Again, the 2mm is too big. So let's place it with one. And I just printed up a whole plate full of these ABS washers of different sizes, 1 to 3mm, just so I'd have them. Let's see if we can do this again. So this will be the one that's permanent, or goes that way. This one goes this way. And camera. There we go. Well, close the belt. There we go. And I guess putting these on there might help to some extent to keep them from rocking around. Okay. So got these four. There's two, and then this third one will be this guy here. Oh, that's sitting there. That's it. Just fell in there when I was looking stuff over. Slide it back there. So let's finish building these up so I've got them made. And what I'm using is just an existing spacer or existing roller bearing to set my spacing. Because these are flush with the back wall the way I made the model. So we'll sit there and ride. Hopefully cut down on wear. That's the theory anyway. I could put that ABS. Well, I have the same problem. Still gonna have to be too wide to fit in there. Oh well. Okay. Let's see if we can get this put in there. And then make sure we got the right way to go. This one out of that. Same. This one may be a booger. The reason being is because you got the big flange of that trying to go in there. Which just realized I've got it backwards anyway. This may be an impossible task. Without doing the whole slide this in place. Let's see if that'll work. Or if I need a 98mm belt here. I've got some ordered and they should be here at some point. Sorry. There's no good way to get in there. Well, if I can get it to stay, might be able to shove that axle through it. And I know that it's going to have to come back off because I still need the 100mm belt, but I wanted to see if I could actually get it to work. So far, the answer is no. go. Oh, but I don't know. Not on the pulley. Come on, belt. Get over there. There we go. So, we've got that on there. Let's see if I can get that feet in there. And a whole lot of room. There we go. I get it to line up. That's the trick. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Leave it. All right. So again, this one. We'll use a belt on this side. And have that same belt on this side, but I need to go back and look at the model because this one does not have any play in it, or very little. So I'm guessing somehow along the way, the first lead-in piece, the gap got too wide, and that is something that we don't need. Alright, so again, that will be that one. That'll be a 1-to-1. And that is not right because I got one more step down. So come in here on these 4, step down. These 3. Now these 2. Ooh, that's yeah, because this will be the one that slows down, and then this one will be the slow down. And we need 3 tires here. So yeah, that was completely wrong after all of that work. That's the way it goes. Well, we did it once. We have to do it at least 3 more times. Get out of there. You weren't supposed to be there. somehow way, that's something. Problem is with these new 14 teeth gears, they look very similar to the 16. Yeah, that's what it was. That is the 16 on the inside there. I'm sorry, the 14. So that's the 14. This now is the, wonder, mount that up, step down. When that steps down, this one, so that means all four of those tires can be the same speed. Let's see. 805. So that is a 16 there. That is a 16, and it's going to drive a 16. And that 16 is supposed to be driving now. This one. And that's where this is supposed to come in and do this thing. Yeah. We're gonna have to do this the hard way. Okay. And that would be the small one. And then we have to have the big one. I'll take this bit right here. And then that is a 1-to-1. Let's see what we got now. So we got 4, 3, 2, 2 more here. So we need to step down again. In order to step down to 2, this here needed to be a normal and a small. Again, we need this one. Can't put that belt on because it's not the right belt. And then we'll need another big one here. And then this will be a 1-to-1. Right. We got the 4, 3, 2, then again 2, and these 3. But the problem is these 2, I'm not stepping down again. So these 3 will be riding at the same speed. Because these 4, step down, 3, step down, step down. I wonder if I just need to go ahead and do another step down right here. That means another big one here. The normal belt will be on this side. Okay. Alright. So let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Speed 1, speed 2. Should in theory work. We shall see. But needless to say, I need the 100mm belts because these 96s will never stretch over that combination of the 14 tooth, 22 tooth. And guys, I'm using ChatGPT to calculate the distances and stuff. I know there's formulas out there, but why waste time when there's things already out there available to be able to do it without having to think. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 belts. 100mm. Be Tuesday. So we'll come back and try this again in 2 days. Thanks for watching.